As you arrive here in Shavasana, just take a couple of breaths. Inhaling deeply and exhaling, sighing out and letting go of anything that has caused you dis-ease today, any worries, thoughts about what's to come. Energetically carving out this time and space for you to take pause and to rest, to connect, whatever your reason is for arriving here today. Allow the body to begin to melt a little towards the earth, to be held. As we close our eyes, we turn our gaze inward. Notice any areas where you are holding tension, that you feel any sensations. Invite them to soften. Today's practice is a practice of the Heart Meridian, a heart-centered practice bringing balance and harmony. This is one of our final practices of the series of meridians. Our heart center is a place that regulates our emotions, our emotional well-being, our mental clarity. When this meridian becomes out of balance, sometimes we may feel anxiety rising within us. We may have trouble sleeping. We may just feel a little dull. Maybe we're lacking joy. We just feel a little foggy, not really connected or centered. This heart meridian plays a crucial role in our heart function as well as that emotional well-being. And the poses today will gently guide us and guide this energy flow, promoting inner harmony and balance. Our heart meridian begins at the heart and travels downwards towards the small intestine and then extends out, moving into our arms, extending through our inner arms and ending at our pinky fingers, little fingers. So as you breathe here in this space, in the space of the heart, see if you can trace this energetic highway moving through your body. Think about the breath traveling here, the places that may become active during our practice, intentionally allowing the energy to flow, to activate, to clear through these spaces, creating balance. When you're ready, come to a seated position facing the front of the room. And we'll begin with a wide-legged forward fold. So we'll bring our legs into a V shape wherever feels comfortable to you. And keep your blocks close by. You may want to have them to support your head wherever you'd like them to be. But we'll begin in this upright position. Just focusing here on really grounding through our root. So finding a nice even or whatever pattern you'd like to create with your breath, something you can anchor with throughout your practice. I like to go with an even inhale and exhale. We're focusing on balance here, so creating the balance in our breath pattern. But if something else feels more anchoring, more grounding to you, feel free to use that. Begin by lifting the heart center upward, letting the shoulders drop down, really opening the chest by drawing the shoulder blades together, lengthening the spine. Imagine that flow of energy along your spine, rising on the inhale, releasing on the exhale, lengthening on the inhale. You're walking the hands out, melting towards the earth on the exhale. You can bring your blocks here in whatever configuration works for you to maybe rest your head. Maybe you just allow your head to hang heavy. Maybe your hands rest on your shins. Maybe you allow the spine to become round. And to begin to surrender inward. Our starting affirmation for this practice: I trust the wisdom of my heart to guide me. I trust the wisdom of my heart to guide me. On the inhale, gently walk the hands back, bringing the head up last. set your props aside. We'll move into child's pose. So you may want your blanket to cushion your knees here. You may want to fold the sides of your mat over. Lots of options. Bring your knees as wide as you'd like, width of the mat or less, whatever's comfortable for you. The wider your knees are, the more intense this is going to be on the hips. So feel into what feels right to your body today. Walking the hands out, bring the body towards the earth. You can rest your forehead on your mat, on the earth, or on a block. You may even want to bring your bolster closer to your body here and rest in a restorative posture here, supported by any props that you need. Really think about the hips sinking towards the earth still, this grounding energy, our hips opening up, and also our heart here, and our arms stretched out towards the front of our mat, our heart opening to the earth. Our intention for our practice today here, being held by the earth plane below, trusting our wisdom, and the earth's wisdom within us. And our gaze comes up towards our hands. Just walk the hands back towards the body. And bring the knees in hip distance apart, and we'll come into tabletop. Knees stacked under the hips, tops of the feet pressing into the mat here. Palms pressed into the earth, our wrists stacked under our shoulders. Find a nice neutral spine here. Gaze between the hands. And take a couple of breaths here, just finding this grounding. Beginning to awaken into our practice, to emerge. Inhale, dropping the belly, tailbone rises, gaze comes forward, opening the heart center. Exhale, rounding the spine, pressing away into the earth. Tuck the tailbone, gaze comes towards our navel. Inhale, drop the belly into cow. Open the heart, shoulder blades draw together. Really feeling this engagement in our heart center and our chest, beginning to awaken these meridians. Maybe think about pressing that pinky finger where this meridian comes to an end into the earth. Moving through these at your own pace with your breath. pace that feels good to you, feeling into the corners of the body, all the edges softening, maybe taking some hip circles, really just feeling into all of those spaces in our spine, in our shoulders, and our hips. Mindfully moving with the breath. Find some freedom here to be weird, to move in weird ways. Finding connection, laughter maybe. And coming back to a neutral spine here. Melting heart being our next pose. You may want to bring your blocks here to your mat, shoulder width apart. And you can take this a couple of ways, options always. Having our knees hip distance apart, you can walk the blocks out towards the front of the mat and allow the chest to come through here towards the earth. You can bring the blocks in closer, putting your elbows onto the blocks, palms together, and kind of in a prayer position here, but sending the chest through the shoulders here towards the earth. Find the intensity that feels good to you. If at any time you need to come out of this pose, you can. If you become shaky or strained, your breath becomes strained, feel free to ease off a little, listening to our bodies, honoring our bodies where they are. And gently release, moving props to the side but within reach, coming all the way down to the mat into Sphinx. Bring the belly to the mat, legs come out long behind you, elbows underneath the shoulders, pressing into the earth with our forearms, with the palms of our hands here, drawing the shoulder blades together and opening the heart towards the front of your mat, towards the front of the room. Feeling the breath in this space, really opening up that heart meridian. Gaze can come between the hands, or you can let the head hang heavy here. You can also bring your forehead to a block if you'd like for support. Our affirmation here: I am worthy of love. I attract loving relationships. I am worthy of love. I attract loving relationships. Let the belly be soft. Let go of any tension in your legs, hips, melting into the earth here. Lowering all the way down, resting your forehead on your forearms. Just taking a few rounds of breath here. Allow that lower spine to release, to feel supported. Reconnect with any pattern you created in the shape of your breath. Maybe reconnecting with your intention if you set one for your practice today. Gaze comes up. Left hand reaches out towards the front of your mat, pressing away from the earth. Thread the needle on the right side, feeding the right arm through that space between your arm and the earth, and resting your head on the floor, or even coming to one of your blocks to rest your head. Being mindful of our neck, our spinal alignment. See if you can trace that line of energy through the inside of your right arm, all the way to the pinky, all the way to the little finger of the right hand, right palm facing upward. Just imagine the breath traveling along this highway from the center of our chest, through the arm, draw the left hand under the shoulder. Press away from the earth, unwinding, pausing, coming back through center here. Just a couple of breaths before we move to the other side. Bringing the right arm out, pressing into the earth, feeding the left arm through and coming to rest on the left shoulder, resting your head on a block or on the earth. Give yourself a couple of breaths here to settle in and begin to connect with that line of energy moving through the left arm to the left pinky. Just breathing into the space with the intention of balance, balancing our left side and the right side of our body. Balancing our masculine and feminine energies. our yin and our yang energies. Draw the right hand under the right shoulder, pressing into the earth and unwinding, coming back through center and pausing. We'll move into supported fish. So if you'd like to place the hands under the shoulders and press away from the earth, coming through tabletop first so that you can set up your props. Either placing a bolster along your mat to rest your spine or your blocks, placing one about where your shoulder blades will be and another one to rest your head. And then laying down, making any adjustments to where those props are. The legs can come out long or knees can be bent here, feet hip distance apart. Bringing the arms out to a T. Deep heart-centered stretch here. Really feeling into that space opening up. Feel the activation of this heart meridian, the center of your chest, softening the space with the breath. Our affirmation here: I forgive myself and others. I forgive myself and others. I forgive myself and others. Opening our heart to forgiveness, to compassion. Maybe this is even forgiving past versions of yourself or past versions of other people. In whatever way is intuitive to you, releasing the props here, moving them aside, and laying back down on your mat. Bringing the knees bent, feet hip distance apart. Just windshield wiper the knees back and forth here, nice and slow, keeping the hips in contact with the earth. And the next time your knees are to the right, Go ahead and let them fall all the way to the right. You may want to shift the hips or make adjustments here, maybe placing a block underneath the right thigh and one between the knees, just for support. Or letting the knees come all the way to the earth, whatever feels good to your lower back, to your spine. Being mindful to care for our spine during these twists. Bring the arms out to a T and gaze comes over the left fingertips. Our affirmation here, I release what no longer serves me. I release what no longer serves me. Activating our bellies here, where that meridian comes through to our small intestine. Inhale, gently unwinding, removing any props, shifting the hips back through center, maybe drawing the knees in towards the chest, rocking gently side to side. Planting the feet back down on the earth, and windshield wiper the knees back and forth just a couple of times here. Then let the knees fall to the left, using props as needed. Bringing the arms out to a T. Gaze comes over the right fingertips. Finding stillness here in this release. Releasing any props and coming back through center. Slowly unwinding the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall open for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. You can place the blocks under your thighs for support, or maybe wrap your blanket around your ankles and under your legs. Maybe you want to cover up with your blanket, get cozy. Placing one hand on the belly and one hand over the heart center. Just connect with the breath here. The softness of the belly and the heart. Really feeling into the balance and the harmony that you've created today. Notice how you feel here as we begin to close our class, close our practice. You can stay here if you'd like, or release any props coming into Shavasana, taking up space on your mat. Let your feet fall open, arms at your sides. Take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale, release, and let it all go. Letting go of any judgments or stories about your practice today. Allowing yourself time to rest and integrate, to exist here in balance. basking in the harmony of your practice. Deepen the breathing. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Take your time awakening. Whenever you're ready, coming into a seated position, nice and slow. Placing the hands over the heart, taking a moment to express gratitude towards yourself for creating this space, for meeting yourself on your mat, connecting with your heart, finding balance, a new rhythm of harmony. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice of Yin Yoga of the Heart Meridian. It is my greatest wish that you carry the benefit of this practice with you throughout your evening, throughout the rest of your week, and beyond. Satnam, may you align with your favorite version of you. Thank you. Thank you.